Hello everyone and welcome to Game 3 in a series between LiquidTLO and ATN Socke here in the Xel'Naga Caverns. Game 3 taking place. I don't know if this is the best of 3 matchup or best of 5, and somehow I got the games out of order, so we'll see what will be happening here. TLO spawning on the top right hand side of the map as the red Terran player. Meanwhile, Socke, who seems to have TLO's number in the first 2 matches, spawning on the bottom left hand side of the map. TLO has been aggressively expanding in each of the matchups and not really prepared to deal with the Colossi that Socke, or the Colossi in Game 1, or the sheer number of units in Game 2 that Socke was able to produce. Socke using those gateways and using the very fast cooldowns on them, able to macro up a very large army. He had, I believe, 5 gateways compared to the 4 barracks of TLO. Even though TLO did have a reactor on one of them, he just simply was not able to keep up with his opponent at all. Now you're going to see Socke opening up with the gateway and now moving out to do a bit of scouting in just a moment. Meanwhile, TLO is building that barracks. He did build a home, a depot close to home, and we'll see what is going to be the response from TLO, what he has learned from the first game. If not the second game, I'm hopefully casting these games in order for you guys. Anyways, we are getting a refinery built here, so TLO is not going any sort of gasless expansion. Meanwhile, Socke doing a similar assimilator build, as he should be getting up a pylon in just a moment. There it is. And as soon as this gateway is done and he has 150 minerals, the Cybernetics core should be warped in right alongside this gateway, or perhaps back over here. We are going to see the probe now wander around on the inside. The SCB did take a little bit of damage, but not too much, as a Marine will soon be coming out to engage against Socke. Now, normally I've been seeing a lot of Terran players use the double racks build to fight off the Protoss player, as the Protoss has been very strong as of late. The Marine now trying to finish off this one probe. The probe will get down to 4 hit points and be able to barely escape. So Socke will be able to perhaps set up some proxy pylons or do a number of other things as well, as we now see a lot of energy being saved up on Socke's Nexus. Now, normally this is a telltale sign of a 4-gate, but we'll see what's going to be happening here. We should perhaps be seeing a chrono boost on the Stalker and also a chrono boost on that warp gate research as well. We are going to be getting a command center over here by TLO, so TLO building a second command center very close to home. We'll be lifting that off in just a moment, but he has not done any scouting as of yet. A Marauder is being added, a Zealot now moving across the field to engage, as an SCV finally moving out to try to see if there are any proxy pylons. There is going to be 1 Zealot trying to engage up against 2 Marines. A Marauder will be added as well, and TLO once again going to do his signature damage, being able to split apart his Marines and his Marauders, forcing that Zealot to retreat. This Stalker now looking to perhaps see if there's going to be an SCV trying to do a bit of scouting, and it looks like the SCV decided to take the low ground route and will not spot perhaps a proxy Stargate, a very common strategy that Protoss players do use in the Xel'Naga Caverns from time to time. TLO now once again building 2 additional barracks right behind this, hoping to be able to macro up a large enough army, as the Zealots are now desperately running away from the Marauder and the Marines. It doesn't look like the concussive shells have been researched at all, as he opts to go for an earlier Reaper instead. 2 Stalkers and a Zealot now going to be engaging. You can see the Marauders and the Marines are going to be pushing in. The Reaper could perhaps join in on the battle, as the Stalkers are now chasing down this one Marine. The Marine is in a bit of trouble. That one Marauder also in a bit of trouble, as we need to see more units. This is going to be a definite problem. The Marauder now going to get back up onto that high ground, and now the Marauder is going to be turning around trying to fight this Zealot here. The Marauders are trying to fight, but this is going to become a very intensive macro or micro war here, as another Marauder has been destroyed, and Socke pushing in with 2 Stalkers and a Zealot, dealing a lot of damage that I do not believe TLO was ready for. He does have additional orbital command, so now in comes another Marauder. The Marauder, however, going to have a very difficult time, as the Marauders are going to be trying to shut down the Zealot over here. This is not looking good. More units need to come in. SCV is also coming off the mineral line as well. The Stalker is going to get taken down, I believe. Yes, it is waiting for that last attack, and no, the Stalker able to escape at 4 hit points. So a very lucky break for Socke there, as a Nexus is now completed. 25 probes compared to 21 SCVs, but those 2 mules will definitely help out. The stalkers are, one stalker is going to try to run away, but not be able to. No, in comes some reinforcements. One stalker is destroyed, focusing down another lower hit point stalker. It gets destroyed as well. The stalkers are trying to engage, trying to fight back. It looks like another low hit point stalker may get destroyed as well, so both sides trying to stay alive, and this is turning into a very micro-intensive battle. But Socke running off of 3 gateways, this 3-gate expand just dealing so much damage, as the Marauders are now going to be trying to do a push, and this may be a bit of a problem. There's the force fields. The Marauders are not going to be able to run back. The sentries now fighting against those poor Marauders. There is another force field on the ramp there, continuing to deal even more damage, trapping those Marauders. It looks like the Marauders have really nowhere to run, as another Marauder will get destroyed. But TLO finally does have 4 Marauders and now going to continue to push in with more units. TLO pushing back with 4 Marauders. The sentries are going to be engaging. There is a stalker in this group as well. The Marauders are not that effective against the sentries, but the sentries do have relatively low hit points, as the sentries are now going to be going after another Marauder down over here instead. It looks like the Marauders really have nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. It looks like these 3 sentries trying to deal even more damage. Another Marauder, and Zealots and sentries are getting destroyed. What it looks like Socke is going to be able to just end up losing all of these units here. The sentries trying to chase down this Marauder, and this proxy pylon will finally get destroyed. Taking a look at the army, there is a 7 Marauders compared to, I believe, 2 sentries and a zealot, and that is it. This is going to be a definite issue, as TLO, if he can strike while the iron is hot, will be able to fight back. But no, opting instead to clear out these destructible rocks. Clearing out these rocks will allow him to move into the late game a little bit more quickly, perhaps being able to expand much more quickly. But TLO expanding has not really worked out well for him in the past 2 games. We'll see Socke currently supply blocked 52 over 52. LiquidTLO also supply blocked 54 over 54. Now training up 3 more Marines. He is going into a lot more, another 2 barracks as well. As you can see that those warp gates are currently chrono boosted out in order to get more units, but Marauders will be coming in from the north. The Marauders are trying to get some damage down into here. You can look at the sentries will be able to get some damage, and there's the force fields as well, trapping many of those Marauders. More force fields coming into play. It looks like another sentry coming in. 1 sentry will get destroyed, but the Zealots and able to just get too much damage in on these units here. It looks as though this one Zealot gonna run into a very, very difficult situation, but the Marauders trying to run away. I believe Blink will be researching just a moment as well, and as soon as Stalkers have Blink, they counter the concussive shelled Marauders. More Stalkers now coming back over here. Marauders getting caught out of position. This is not looking good at all. 1 Stalker traded for an Immortal, or sorry, traded for a Marauder. The Zealots are trying to chase back over here, unable to do so, as the units are trying to get in perhaps a little bit of a flank. That Zealot will be able to barely escape, as more units once again reinforcing by Socke. The Marauders once again trying to engage TLO, trying to use that stutter step. He does not have stim yet, as now we see Socke going into Dark Templars. The Marauders are trying to fend off this attack, but there are simply too many sentries. Socke continuing this push, dealing so much damage to these Marauders. Those Marauders desperately trying to run away. Once more, another round of force fields blocking any sort of escape, as TLO losing Marauder after Marauder, as Socke just really coming out ahead with Micro. I believe that the sentries do not have enough for a force field at all. And now just trying to maximize the damage. You cannot run away with Marauders. As you see, that is what ends up happening. The Marauders do have stim now, so they could perhaps get another Zealot. And it looks like, yeah, that Zealot will get destroyed, individually stimming these units. And now the Zealots are going back in for a counterattack. It looks like some Dark Templars will be warping in. And with 5 Dark Templars, and I do not believe there is a lot of energy for scanner sweeps, will it be enough? Zealots are now trying to push their way to the center. Dark Templars now running around the corner. 1 Dark Templar running into the main base. Perhaps another Dark Templar at the natural expansion as well. As you can see, the Zealots and the sentries are trying to fight back. There is 1 Dark Templar in this group, getting in a lot of damage so far. Dark Templars going after units at the natural expansion and the main base, as the Dark Templars are now ripping through these Marauders. No scanner sweeps have come into play at all. There's 1 scanner sweep finally at the natural expansion. At the main base, there is still 1 Dark Templar running free. And now TLO unable to even use his mules that effectively use his mules as the Dark Templars are having his way with this one mineral line. This one SC or one scanner sweep will be used in order to destroy that Dark Templar. It looks like another scanner sweep destroying the Dark Templar in the main base, but now in comes the battle. It looks like Dark Templars, there's another Dark Templar going to be coming in from the back. Sentries are engaging. Dark Templars destroying the mineral line once again. More Zealots and Dark Templars engaging. And this is not looking good at all, as the worker kills are starting to rack up to 26 already. Another scanner sweep. Socke perhaps should be moving back with these Dark Templars, not trying to engage. That Dark Templar gets destroyed, but it looks like this Dark Templar will once again be able to perhaps run free through the base. There is enough for one, perhaps two more scans. That Dark Templar does get taken down, but the damage may have already been done. Taking a look at the worker count, 44 compared to 18. TLO now being forced to use another scanner sweep on a Dark Templar. No missile turrets yet, and this is really going to be a problem. You can now see Socke going to start increasing his probe production, once again transferring probes from the main base to the natural expansion. There are still Dark Templars off over here, and this one Dark Templar will get destroyed. It looks like the Marauders will finish off this one pylon. Down it goes, and the pressure is finally dealt with, but I believe the killing blow has already been dealt. It is just going to be a matter of time before we get the GG, as the Dark Templars are now trying to finish off this the rest of these Marauders. It looks like there is another Dark Templar here, and now going after the Marines and the Marauders. The Dark Templar being very careful to split themselves, making sure that one scanner sweep does not kill two of them. A missile turret finally built on the backside of the base. Another Dark Templar now going after this reactor here. Perhaps going to try to destroy this orbital command before a scanner sweep can come into play. It looks like the Dark Templar scanner sweep does go down, but the Dark Templar does run away in time. And there is the GG. So TLO losing 3 straight games to Socke. And not really quite sure what to say from TLO. TLO is coming back onto the scene, and Socke perhaps one of his most difficult matchups as of late. A very, very strong Protoss player, and that 3-gate expand just so powerful coming in from Protoss. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed this best of 5 series, or this 3-game set between TLO and Socke. Game 3 taking place here in the Xel'Naga Caverns.